Good evening and welcome to TVB News. The government is planning to submit to the Legislative Council next month a bill that would make it mandatory for professionals such as social workers and teachers to report suspected cases of child abuse. Professionals who fail to do so could face up to 3 months in prison and a fine of $50,000. Veronica Lin has our top story.
Under the proposed mandatory reporting of child abuse bill, certain professionals, such as social workers and teachers, must report suspected child abuse to the authorities. Cases of child abuse have occurred in various social welfare organizations. The government hopes to nip the problem in the bud. In the proposed bill, the protected persons are defined as those under 18 years of age. 23 types of professionals, including social workers, dentists, teachers, pharmacists, etc., would have to report any suspected cases of child abuse. This includes physical abuse that resulted in injuries, forcing children to engage in any sort of sexual act, or repeatedly threatening them, causing psychological trauma. All these cases would have to be reported to social welfare agencies or the police. Those who fail to oblige could face up to 3 months in prison and a $50,000 fine. The mechanism also states that one must not obstruct the reporting of such cases. Otherwise, the penalties would be the same. In consultations, authorities have proposed to classify the severity of the abuse into 3 categories: red, yellow, and green. They also suggested a specific time frame within which the crime must be reported. However, neither was mentioned in the proposed bill. Authorities later explained that stipulating a time limit would not be practical. As for whether to dial 999 or another hotline to report suspected cases, authorities said the police will discuss with Social Welfare Department, with details to be announced before the bill comes into effect. Some welfare organizations believe the intentions of setting up the bill are good, but they worry about a lack of supporting facilities. Lawmaker Tik Chi-run said there might not be enough placement options for these kids, especially once the bill comes into effect. Counselors and police investigations must also be supported, he added. Veronica Lin, TVB News.
A Chinese fighter jet carried out what the United States called an unnecessarily aggressive maneuver in front of a U.S. military plane over the South China Sea last week. A video released shows the J-16 flying close in front of the RC-135's nose, forcing it to fly through the wake turbulence. The U.S. said its plane was conducting routine operations in international airspace. The American side said it will continue to fly, sail, and operate safely where international law allows. China earlier said it won't meet U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin at a security conference in Singapore this weekend. The Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency has urged Ukraine and Russia to observe 5 principles to safeguard the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Rafael Grossi said the world is fortunate that a nuclear accident hasn't already happened. Speaking at the United Nations Security Council, Grossi said requests included no attacks on or from the plant and no heavy weapons to be housed in the area. He also wants to secure uninterrupted off-site power supply, protection for all essential systems, and no action to be taken to undermine these principles. Fighting on 7 occasions have disrupted power supplies at the plant, which is under Russian control.
This is the first time.
Locally, Kwonghwa Hospital's new accident and emergency department began service this morning. Some patients were already lining up before the emergency room opened at 7:30 a.m. Located in the hospital's new complex on Pitt Street, the 6,400 square meter facility is 2.6 times larger than the old one. The new A&E unit is also designed to facilitate a more streamlined consultation process for patients to get their medicine directly after seeing the doctor. But the new medicine ward has yet to commence service. For now, patients have to go back to the old complex to collect their medicine. Secretary for Environment and Ecology Tse Chin-wan said a proposal to amend the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Ordinance will be submitted to the Legislative Council no later than early next year. In response to queries from lawmakers, Tse said the Agricultural, Fisheries and Conservation Department has sent staff to Mercy release hotspots during the Buddha's birthday public holiday, but found no violations. He added that from 2020 to 2022, the department received 14 complaints regarding Mercy release. They included releasing freshwater fish or turtles into the sea. The amendment bill would clearly state that releasing or abandoning animals and causing them unnecessary suffering would be an offense. They also hope to raise the penalties. Considering that mercy releases might be done for religious or cultural purposes, authorities will consider setting up designated areas for the public to release animals. The northbound travel for Hong Kong vehicle scheme's first round ballot results have been announced. There were 1,600 successful applicants in the first round of the ballot. The system will notify them via email and randomly assign a date they could apply for. They'll then have to submit their applications within 72 hours. The northbound travel for Hong Kong vehicle scheme will be implemented starting July 1st. 200 applications will be accepted every working day in the first week and 300 from the second week onwards. The second round of ballots will be open to applications next Monday at 10 a.m. That's the news. Thanks for watching.